want to make reference to the new dietary recommendations that came out in 2011. These recommendations warn us to cut back on trans fats and saturated fats, salt, sugars, and refined grains. Does that sound like good sense? Well, it may sound like good sense and healthy advice to you, but is it really? The Food Safety Authority of Ireland seems to think it is, but they're misguided. In one of their reports, they claim that saturated fats in the food supply should be reduced, as should be the levels of trans fats. The Irish Heart Foundation likewise warns that saturated fats cause high cholesterol and should be avoided in the diet. What they don't tell us is that saturated fats actually raise the heart-healthy HDL, the so-called good cholesterol, and that's why they raise total cholesterol. But that is obviously a very good thing and not a bad thing. You want to raise your good cholesterol as much as you can if you want to protect your heart. And I've written about that in detail on my website. The new guidelines are not only faulty, I believe that they are dangerous. They do not specify the foods that are currently destroying the health of our nation, like sugary soft drinks, white bread, white sugar, many breakfast cereals, margarine, skimmed milk, an excess of fruit, and a deficit of oily fish. Butter and animal fats are not the problem, and not eating them is part of our problem. If you analyze the totality of studies that have tested the relationship between saturated fats and heart disease, you will discover that there is no causal relationship at all. Saturated fats do not cause heart attacks. In fact, you will find the opposite is true, that where animal fats are being consumed, the incidence of coronary heart disease and coronary death has decreased. When soy-based margarine replaced butter in Norway in the 1950s, the rate of heart disease went up. When the National Academy of Sciences in America reported in 1980 that heart disease could not be reduced by lowering cholesterol or fats through the diet or by drugs, they were severely rebuked by the health authorities. You will have heard a lot about polyunsaturated fats as a preference to saturated fats, and the push by health authorities to replace saturated fats with polyunsaturated fats is very, very evident. But research has consistently shown the harmful effects of polyunsaturated fats and their contribution to cancer and to gallstones. So the push to favor polyunsaturated fats in place of saturated fats is an obstacle to health. Polyunsaturated fats are used to manufacture margarine and are generally obtained from vegetable oils such as sunflower seed, cottonseed, and soybean. Now, while that may sound like a healthy, natural source, the process of making the margarine is loaded with health risks. The extraction of oil from the seeds is achieved with petroleum-based solvents, and these solvents have been known to cause cancer. The oils have to be boiled first, but some of the solvents actually still remain. And then the oils are degummed, bleached, then hydrogenated, then neutralized, fractionated, then deodorized, emulsified, and then in esterified. And all these processes, there is a heat treatment involved, raising temperatures to 140 to 160 degrees with caustic soda and nickel, which is not without risks to health. So I'm trying to show you the kind of process involved in preparing the polyunsaturated fats which are on the shelves of the supermarkets. In order to make these oils soft and spreadable, as in many popular spreads on the market, they have to be hydrogenated, and in that process they become a trans fat, which is neither natural nor healthy. While we ate more saturated fats and monounsaturated fats at the turn of the century, we are consuming far more polyunsaturated fats today, and these are anything but heart-healthy fats, as proclaimed by our health authorities. One of the harmful effects of polyunsaturated fats is due to their high content of linoleic acid. And linoleic acid is a promoter of tumor growth or of cancer. Studies in the United States and Canada showed that linoleic acid, which is the major polyunsaturated fatty acid found in vegetable oils, actually increased the risk of breast tumors. All polyunsaturated margarines contain high levels of linoleic acid, from 39% to as much as 72%, compared to butter, which only contains 2% of linoleic acid. Linoleic acid is a potential culprit and is derived from vegetable oils. Conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA, which may be well known to many of you, on the other hand, is a healthy variation of linoleic acid. And this has been shown to be protective against breast cancer, colorectal cancer, malignant melanoma, which is a skin cancer, and does not derive from vegetable oils, but from animal fat, especially from beef. So it's a good idea to eat the fat on your meat, which is contrary to what the health authorities are telling us to do. Replacing saturated fats with polyunsaturated fats, as conventional wisdom advises us to do, is not a wise thing at all, considering the potential harm in the polyunsaturated fats. But, and this is important, there is a very important exception, and I want to draw your attention to that exception in the next section when we talk about healthy polyunsaturated